If you don't know what to do, you could always punch your partner in the face. It's just not a good idea because you want to be friends eventually. So instead, it's better to either choke them out or break the arm. Just understand, mount position in Jiu-Jitsu is a very dominant position because if it was a fight, you could punch. Just to quickly review, if he tries to punch me in my face, I would win this fight because he could almost barely punch my chin and I could easily punch him. But we also have submissions where you attack the arms, the shoulders, or the neck if someone has a gi. There's also submissions that you could do no gi, but for today we do it very simple. So the first one that we did, you use your first hand, step one, open the collar. Step two, second hand goes thumb in, you make a fist, rest it on the floor, and your knife edge of your wrist is pushing into his carotid artery here. So I'm not opening, putting my hand here, and there's this huge space here. I never want that. I open the collar, step one. Step two, I put that second hand in, and I rest the ridge of my wrist on his carotid artery here. Step three, my left hand is going to grab the middle of his opposite lapel and take off all the tension. Sometimes you're ready underneath your partner's chin, and sometimes your partner's going to keep his chin tucked in a little bit so you're more in his face. So before squeezing on his face, what I'm going to do is drop my forearm to the chest to get underneath the chin, and 5, I'm going to flare that elbow out to get that submission. So again, step 1, open the collar. 2, put the hand in, thumb in first, making sure there's no space between your wrist and his carotid artery. Step 3, grab the opposite lapel, take all the slack out. 4, clear the chin. And 5, trace your elbow along his body to the floor to get the submission. Now what happens sometimes, you go to put that first hand in, go to choke, people will reach with his hand and block here. So now look, I try to choke him here, he's holding my arm tight, he's not letting me. I'm like, what the hell, I want to submit him, but he's being very strong here. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my left hand to help me push his elbow a little bit past my chest, my belly, the center of my belly, right? So I'm going to use my hand to press his elbow, use my body to hide my belly behind his elbow, and I'm going to switch my hips. I'm going to bring my knee to his head. My right leg, look, goes underneath his arm here. So this is what we call the S mount. So now his arm is trapped in the center of my body. I'm going to move the hand out of the way so you can see. So I still can't get the choke because he's still got his arms in the way. He's not letting me. But watch this hand here. What I'm going to do, what we call the wrist lock. I'm going to find his fist, 1, 2, and cup it with both hands. I'm going to pull his fist towards my chest until he taps. So sometimes your partner's hands will be like this, sometimes it will be like this, sometimes his fist is going to be more this way, sometimes it's this way. What matters is that you have the elbow against your chest so he can't pull his arm out. If his arm is more bent like this, it's fine. Look, I grab here, pull it in towards me. This way is going to hurt. If his fist is more bent this way, I'm going to grab by the knuckles, pull everything in. It's going to hurt a lot. So I had the hand in the choke. I was trying to finish. I noticed that his hand is next to my face here. He keeps his hand relaxed just for now, right? I'm just going to scoop 1 and 2. I have 2 hands holding his top of the hand. I'm going to pull the hands towards me to get the submission here. So one more time from the beginning, a little sneaky move for you guys. So I open the collar, I put my thumb in, trying to do the choke, but he grabs my arm, he's trying to defend, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hand to place behind his elbow. Sometimes you might not be strong enough to do this, to pull the arm across. So I'm not even going to try, I'm just going to put my hand like a brace, and look, I use my belly to rest on his elbow. Put my hand on the floor, and I slide my knee up to his head. The right leg swivels to the other side. So this position we call the S mount position here. Now I'm trying to finish the choke. It's not working. I see his hand. He's super relaxed with his hand here. I'm going to find the top of the hand. 1, 2. And push everything towards me to break the wrist. And again, it doesn't matter if the hand is like this, if the hand is like this. Right? You see? Grab. Boom, you could break the wrist either or. So you could go in this way, or you could go back this way, right? So you're going for the choke, you see the hand, up, you go quickly like that, just not in class with your friends right now. and you pull everything in. So let me demonstrate with somebody else here. Let me go ahead for a second here. If you don't know what to do, you could always punch your partner in the face. It's just not a good idea because you want to be friends eventually. So instead, it's better to either choke them out or break the arm. So I'm going to open the counter the same way, put my hand inside, thumb in, and yeah, he starts to put his hands up, trying to defend my arm, not letting me put pressure on his neck. So I'm going to put my left hand here next to his elbow. I'm not fighting it. I'm just making a little anchor here so I could move my chest and body behind his elbow. So then my body weight, what helps me to move his arm across to the center of my chest. My right leg swivels and I'm sitting on top of my partner here. So my thumb is still in. And then I still don't feel comfortable like I'm able to get the choke. So if you wanted to, you could just punch your partner a few times here, it's fine. But we're going to take the nice approach. So I see his hands here, his fist, if it's like curled in like this a little bit, sometimes, this is a great way to attack the wrist if you see this angle anytime. As long as you have his elbow behind something, like in this case it's behind my belly, he can't escape his arm. So when I hug his wrist 1 and 2 here, and I pull it towards me, I'm going to put a lot of pressure on his wrist, breaking his wrist. So again, if you find out here his arm's isolated, you feel like you can't finish the choke, just find the hand 1 and 2. There's more details, but the general one, you just want to cup the hand and pull his hand towards you. Because he can't escape his elbow, right, anywhere, I'm going to be able to apply pressure. If his hand is this way, it works here just as fine. 1, 2 by the fingers. You see I'm holding on here, and again, I'm pulling everything towards my chest to get the submission here, right? Boom. And this is usually good when people holding like their hand, maybe because you were thinking get the armbar, 1, 2, boom. We'll talk about the armbar in a second, but if I'm trying to attack his arm here, and he's hugging, 1, 2, I could get the wrist like here. So what I want you guys to do is to give it a try from the choke. I will help you guys out. If you have questions, just ask. 1, 2, 3.